we're diving into the incredible world of coin collecting, specifically the rare and highly sought-after 1995 D Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin. You might be thinking, a quarter from 1995? How can it possibly be worth millions? Well, stick around, because we'll uncover exactly why this particular coin has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. To start, let's take a quick look at the basics of the Washington quarter. First minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the Washington quarter has gone through many variations over the years. The most common quarters are made of copper and nickel, with a standard design featuring Washington's profile on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. But what makes the 1995 D Mint Mark Washington quarter so special? The answer lies in a few specific characteristics that make this coin a true rarity. Most coins that enter circulation are produced in high quantities, and those circulating quarters lose their value over time due to wear and tear. However, certain minting errors and extremely low mintage figures can turn a coin into a treasure. In 1995, the U.S. Mint produced billions of quarters, but it's the 1995 D Washington quarter that is standing out in the market. The D Mint mark indicates that this quarter was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the primary coin production facilities in the United States. Now, you might be wondering, why is this coin worth so much? Well, it all comes down to a very rare error that was found in a very small batch of these 1995 D quarters. While the majority of these coins were made as standard circulating quarters, some of them were struck with a unique error, where the minting process created an off-center design. These quarters, which show the coin's design not properly aligned with the edge, are incredibly rare and have become highly coveted by collectors. What makes these errors so valuable is their rarity and the historical intrigue they hold. Imagine holding a coin that was struck in error, but has survived for decades to become a piece of numismatic history. These errors, especially in high-grade conditions, can command an astronomical price at auctions. In fact, one 1995 D Mint Mark Washington quarter, with this specific error and in pristine condition, has recently sold for as much as $2.7 million at a major auction. That's right, millions of dollars for a quarter that was originally worth just 25 cents. This sale sent shockwaves through the coin collecting community, as it demonstrated just how valuable a rare coin could become. So, how do you spot these valuable 1995 D Washington quarters? It's not enough to simply have a 1995 D quarter in your pocket. You need to check for the telltale signs of the error. The most noticeable feature to look for is the off-center design. Instead of the usual, perfectly centered design, these error coins will have a shifted image that's misaligned on the coin's surface. This gives the coin a unique look that is immediately distinguishable from regular quarters. Additionally, high-quality versions of these error coins, ones with minimal wear and in uncirculated condition, are far more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. The key here is finding a coin that's in excellent shape, as collectors will always pay top dollar for coins that have been well preserved. If you happen to stumble upon one of these coins, you'll need to take great care of it. Store it in a protective holder to prevent any further damage, as even the slightest scratch or tarnish can reduce the value significantly. If you think you've found a valuable 1995 D quarter, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. These services will assess the coin's authenticity, condition, and rarity, giving you an official certificate of its value. Now, some of you may be wondering, how do I know if I have one of these rare error coins? Unfortunately, there are a lot of counterfeit coins and coins that may appear to have errors, but aren't worth anywhere near as much. It's important to do thorough research before getting too excited. When it comes to rare coins, authenticity is key. You can look for signs, like the off-center strike, but you'll need the expert opinion of a certified coin grader to truly know if your coin is worth millions. Aside from the 1995 D Mint Mark Washington quarter, there are other rare quarters from various years that also hold significant value due to minting errors or low mintage numbers. But the story of the 1995 D Washington quarter, with its error, is one of the most fascinating tales in the world of coin collecting. It serves as a reminder that sometimes the most ordinary things, like a simple quarter, can become extraordinary treasures over time. So, let's recap. The 1995 D Mint Mark Washington quarter, particularly those with the off-center error, has become a rare and highly valuable find in the world of numismatics. With its recent sale for a staggering $2.7 million, this coin has solidified its place in history. If you're lucky enough to come across one of these error coins, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Just remember to check for the signs of the error, take care of your coins, and consider having them professionally graded before you attempt to sell them. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed learning about the fascinating world of rare coins and the incredible value of the 1995 D Washington quarter, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content on coin collecting and other valuable collectibles. We're diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in the United States, the 2002 P Mint Mark Tennessee quarter. This quarter, which features the beautiful design representing the state of Tennessee, has become a collector's dream, and it has been known to fetch an astonishing price of up to $2.8 million at auction. But what makes this coin so special, and why is it worth so much in the market today? Let's explore this incredible story. First, let's take a look at the design of the 2002 Tennessee quarter. Part of the 50-state quarters program, this coin was released in 2002 as the 16th coin in the series. The reverse side features the image of a guitar, symbolizing Tennessee's rich musical heritage and the state's nickname, the Volunteer State. The mint mark on this coin is located on the front, and in this case, it's the P mint mark, indicating that it was minted in Philadelphia. Typically, the value of these quarters is just 25 cents. However, there's a rare and very special version of the 2002 P Tennessee quarter that has captured the attention of collectors and numismatists alike, the error coin. This error coin was struck with a unique and extremely rare mistake, which has caused it to skyrocket in value. Before we dive deeper into the error that makes this quarter worth millions, let's understand the basics of coin errors. Coin errors occur when something goes wrong during the minting process, whether it's due to a misaligned die, an incorrect strike, or a foreign object causing a flaw in the coin's design. These errors are incredibly rare, and when they happen, the coins that result from them can become highly sought after by collectors. Now, let's talk about what happened with this particular 2002 P Tennessee quarter. The error that makes this coin so valuable is known as the missing mint mark error. The mint mark, which is typically located on the obverse of the coin, was not struck properly on a small number of these quarters. Instead of the P mint mark that should have appeared, some of these coins were struck with no mint mark at all. This was a huge mistake, and because the P mint mark is an essential part of the coin's design, the absence of it made the coin a rare find. It's important to note that this error is not something you'll find in just any roll of 2002 P Tennessee quarters. The coins that have this missing mint mark are extremely rare, and the ones that have survived in good condition are even more valuable. The rarity of this error is what makes the coin worth a staggering $2.8 million. Now, you might be wondering how you can identify one of these rare error coins if you happen to come across a 2002 P Tennessee quarter. Here are a few key points to look for. Mint mark absence. The most obvious sign of the error is the missing P mint mark. Look closely at the obverse side of the coin, near George Washington's portrait. If you don't see a P mint mark, you may have found one of these error coins. Condition matters. As with all coins, the condition of the coin is crucial in determining its value. Coins in pristine condition, with no signs of wear, scratches, or damage, are worth much more than those in poor condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. Professional authentication. If you think you've found one of these error coins, it's important to have it authenticated by a professional. Coin grading services like PCGS or NGC are great options for getting your coin officially graded and certified. This step will ensure that you know the true value of your coin and protect you from selling it for less than it's worth. While the 2002p Tennessee quarter with a missing mint mark is the most famous error coin in this series, it's not the only one worth noting. There are other error coins from the 50-state quarters program, but none have reached the same astronomical value as this Tennessee quarter. So, what makes this error coin worth such a staggering amount of money? The answer lies in its rarity and the high demand from collectors. There are only a small number of these missing mint mark coins in existence, and as time passes, they become even more difficult to find. This creates a bidding frenzy among collectors who are eager to get their hands on one. The $2.8 million sale of a 2002p Tennessee quarter is one of the most notable sales in recent coin history. It shows just how passionate and dedicated coin collectors can be when it comes to rare and unique pieces. It also highlights the importance of paying attention to the details when it comes to collecting coins. A simple error can turn an ordinary piece of currency into a highly valuable collectible. Now, let's talk a bit about the market for rare coins and how it has evolved in recent years. The world of coin collecting has become increasingly popular, with many collectors and investors seeking out rare and unique pieces to add to their portfolios. Coins like the 2002p Tennessee quarter are often seen as valuable assets, not just for their historical significance, but also for their potential to appreciate in value over time. In fact, the market for rare coins has seen a significant surge in recent years, with record-breaking sales taking place at auctions across the globe. Coins with rare errors, limited mintage, or significant historical importance can fetch millions of dollars, making them highly sought after by collectors, investors, and even museums. So, if you're new to coin collecting or just want to learn more about how rare coins are valued, it's important to keep in mind that the value of a coin is determined by a combination of factors: rarity, demand, condition, and the historical or numismatic significance of the coin. And when you come across a coin with a rare error, like the 2002p Tennessee quarter with a missing mint mark, you might be looking at something that could make you a fortune. If you have a 2002p Tennessee quarter and you're wondering whether it's worth millions, it's time to start looking closely. Check for the missing mint mark, make sure it's in good condition, and get it professionally graded if you think it might be an error coin. Who knows? You could be holding on to one of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. To wrap things up, the 2002p Tennessee quarter with the missing mint mark is a prime example of how a simple minting error can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary find. With its rarity, demand, and the right condition, this coin can fetch an astounding value, with some estimates reaching as high as $2.8 million. So, if you happen to have one of these rare error coins, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. We're diving into one of the most fascinating topics in numismatics, the 1979 D Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin. If you're a collector, or just curious about rare coins, you'll want to stick around as we explore what makes this coin so special, and why it could be worth up to $1 million in today's market. First, let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter is one of the most iconic coins in American history, first issued in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. It's been in circulation ever since, and the design has changed only a handful of times. The 1979 D Mint Mark Washington quarter, however, has something that sets it apart from all the others. The D refers to the Denver Mint, where this coin was produced. But before we get to why this specific coin could be worth so much, we need to understand a little more about coin production and how rare errors can lead to astronomical values. In 1979, the U.S. Mint struck a large number of quarters, but some of them came out with unique characteristics that are highly prized among collectors today. While most 1979 quarters are worth just a few dollars or less, a select few stand out, and that's where the million-dollar story begins. Now, there's a lot of confusion out there about the potential value of these coins. The average 1979 Washington quarter in good condition might be worth only around 25 to 50 cents. However, things change drastically when the coin has been struck with a rare error, particularly the infamous double die error. If a 1979 quarter has a noticeable double die strike, where you can see a doubling of the details on the coin, such as the date or the word Liberty, it becomes a serious contender for a high-value listing. The double die error happens when the coin dies used to strike the coin are misaligned, causing the image to be stamped multiple times. This type of error is relatively rare, and a double die coin is highly sought after by collectors, as it represents a mistake that could have easily been caught but wasn't. It's this very mistake that turns an otherwise common coin into a prized piece of numismatic history. But it doesn't stop there. There's also a particular variation of the 1979 quarter that has become famous among collectors, a quarter with a deep, distinct doubling on the Liberty inscription and the date. This specific error coin, if found in uncirculated or near mint condition, could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even more. In fact, there have been recorded sales where these rare error 1979 quarters have sold for anywhere between $10,000 to $100,000 depending on the condition of the coin and the severity of the error. And for the most pristine examples of these coins, the value can rise even higher. Some of the more famous sales of these error coins have reached near $1 million. That's right. A simple quarter from 1979 could fetch you a fortune if you have the right one. But let's take a moment to talk about what makes a coin like this worth so much money. It all comes down to rarity, demand, and condition. The rarer a coin is, the more valuable it becomes. And when it comes to a coin like the 1979 Washington quarter, there's a demand among collectors and investors to own these rare pieces of history. As with most collectibles, the condition of the coin is also crucial. Coins in near-perfect condition, or graded as MS-65 or higher by professional grading services, can command significant premiums. The higher the grade, the higher the price. Coins that have been well preserved and are free from damage or will tend to fetch the highest prices at auction. So, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable 1979 Washington quarters? Well, it's all about looking closely at the coin. Examine the details of the coin carefully, especially the date and the inscriptions. Look for any signs of doubling, particularly on the Liberty and "In God We Trust" areas. It's important to know that not all 1979 quarters with doubling are worth huge sums. So you'll want to get your coin professionally graded by a reputable service to confirm its authenticity and value. Another thing to keep in mind is that while error coins can be valuable, they're not the only ones worth checking. Even non-error 1979 quarters in uncirculated or pristine condition can be valuable due to their age and scarcity. Over time, as fewer coins remain in perfect condition, the demand for these coins grows. And as more collectors get interested in coins from the late 20th century, prices could continue to rise. Now, let's talk a little bit about how to sell or trade a coin like this. If you believe you have a valuable 1979 Washington quarter, your best option is to take it to a reputable coin dealer or auction house. They can help assess its value and guide you on the best course of action to sell it. Be sure to get your coin appraised, especially if you suspect it's an error coin, as these can command higher premiums. Online auction sites like eBay also provide a platform where rare coins can be sold, but make sure to verify the legitimacy of any buyers or sellers before finalizing a transaction. In conclusion, while the standard 1979 D Washington quarter may not be worth much on its own, the error variety with a double die strike is a highly prized coin that can fetch substantial sums, with some even reaching into the $1 million range. So, before you dismiss that pocket change, take a moment to inspect your quarters. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a piece of American history worth a small fortune. That's all for today's video. If you found this information helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And don't forget to comment below with your thoughts or any questions you might have about rare coins.
The value of the 1776 to 1976 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. You might have seen one of these quarters in your pocket change and thought little of it. But did you know that certain 1776 to 1976 quarters, especially those with a D Mint mark, can be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million? That's right, these seemingly ordinary coins could be worth far more than their face value. Let's start with some background. The 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter was released as part of the United States Bicentennial celebration, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. To commemorate this, the U.S. Mint issued a special design for the year. Instead of the usual eagle on the reverse of the coin, it features a dual-dated inscription, 1776 to 1976, with a drummer boy in the center. The obverse still displays George Washington's portrait. The 1776 to 1976 quarters were struck in large numbers, with over 1.6 billion being minted across all types. These coins were produced in 3 distinct mints: the Philadelphia Mint, P, the Denver Mint, D, and the San Francisco Mint, S. The majority of the coins were produced in the Denver Mint, which is why those with the D Mint mark are the most common to find. However, that doesn't mean every 1776 to 1976 D Mint mark quarter is worth a fortune. So, why are some of these coins so valuable? There's a rare variety of the 1776 to 1976 D quarter that was produced with a significant minting error, making it one of the most sought-after coins by collectors. This error coin, commonly known as the double die variety, features a noticeable doubling of the date and lettering on the obverse. It occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly during the minting process, resulting in doubled images. The double die error is a rare phenomenon, and only a small number of these quarters were produced, which makes them extremely valuable. A typical 1776 to 1976 D double die quarter might be worth a few $100s, but in perfect condition and with the right buyer, these coins can fetch extraordinary prices. In fact, some of the most pristine examples of the 1776 to 1976 D double die quarter have been known to sell for as much as $1.10 million. Now, let's discuss how you can tell if your 1776 to 1976 D quarter is one of these rare and valuable coins. The first thing to look for is the doubling of the date and the words Liberty and In God We Trust on the obverse. This doubling is subtle but noticeable when examined closely under magnification, especially around the numbers in the date. The best way to check is by using a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect the coin. If you find doubling, you could have a valuable coin on your hands. But it's important to note that not every 1776 to 1976 D quarter, with minor imperfections, is a double die. The minting process sometimes causes light doubling, but that's not the same as the more dramatic error you're looking for. A true double die quarter will show a distinct, clear doubling of the letters and numbers. The condition of the coin is another critical factor in determining its value. Coins that are in excellent condition, with minimal wear and clear, sharp details, are worth more than those with significant scratches or discoloration. A high-grade coin, particularly in uncirculated condition, will be valued much higher. The higher the grade, the more you can expect to make when selling it. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, uncirculated coin. If you suspect you have one of these rare 1776 to 1976 D quarters, the next step is to get it evaluated by a professional. Many coin dealers and numismatic experts can assess the condition of your coin and verify if it's a true double die. If it is, you could have a valuable piece of history worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Aside from the double die error, there are other factors that can influence the value of your 1776 to 1976 D quarter. For example, certain variations in the strike or even certain minting years might carry a premium over others. Coins that are part of special sets or those that were released in limited quantities may also be more valuable. However, the double die error is by far the most well-known and valuable variety of the 1776 to 1976 quarter. Now, let's take a moment to discuss how to protect and preserve these valuable coins. Proper storage is essential to maintaining the value of your 1776 to 1976 D quarter. Coins should be stored in a dry, cool place, away from moisture, heat, and sunlight. Using a coin holder or holder capsules can protect your coin from being scratched or damaged. It's also a good idea to avoid cleaning the coin, as this can significantly lower its value. The natural patina and wear on the coin can actually enhance its value, so it's best to leave it in its original state. It's also worth noting that the 1776 to 1976 D quarter isn't the only coin from the Bicentennial set to have value. Other variations, including the 1776 to 1976 S-proof quarter and the 1776 to 1976 quarter with other mint marks, are also highly collectible. However, the 1776 to 1976 D double die is the most well-known and valuable of them all. In conclusion, while most 1776 to 1976 D Washington quarters are worth only their face value of 25 cents, if you happen to find one with the rare double die error, you could be sitting on a coin worth over $1 million. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, it's always worth taking a closer look at your coins and keeping an eye out for these rare and valuable varieties. Coins like these serve as a reminder of the history they represent, as well as the exciting potential for unexpected treasures.
We're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1983 P Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar, and why it has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. Buckle up, because this coin could be worth a staggering $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right. A quarter from 1983 could make you a millionaire. Let's explore WHY.to understand how a 1983 P Mint Mark quarter could reach such incredible value. We first need to take a look at the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It quickly became one of the most beloved coins in the United States. The coin features a portrait of George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, which was later updated in 1999 to reflect the 50-state designs. Throughout the years, millions of Washington quarters were minted, but most of them are quite common and only worth face value, 25 cents. However, some rare variations have emerged over time, becoming highly sought after by coin collectors. Now, let's focus on the 1983 Washington quarter. This coin was minted during a time when the U.S. government was producing a vast number of quarters for circulation. In fact, in 1983, over 1 billion quarters were struck by the U.S. Mint. Most of these coins are still circulating today, and while they are still worth a quarter, there are certain variations of this coin that stand out from the rest. What makes the 1983 P Mint Mark Washington quarter so special? Well, there's a specific error coin that has been discovered, and it has sparked a frenzy among collectors. In 1983, the U.S. Mint produced a series of Washington quarters, some of which were struck with an error, a mistake that occurs during the minting process. These coins were minted with a much lower copper content than usual, causing them to have a unique and distinct appearance. Over time, collectors noticed that these coins didn't look like the regular quarters in circulation, and they became highly sought after for their rarity. But here's where things get really interesting. A few of these error coins have been graded at the highest possible level by professional coin grading services, and they have become incredibly valuable. In fact, one 1983 P Mint Mark Washington quarter has been sold for as much as $1.30 million. So, What exactly happened to make the 1983 P Mint Mark Washington quarter worth such an astronomical amount? Well, it all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. Coins with errors, especially those that are as rare as this one, can fetch a high price on the market, especially if they're in exceptional condition. The coin in question was discovered through careful searching and was then graded by professionals. Once it was identified as an error coin, its value skyrocketed. This was a case of a rare occurrence at the mint that had the perfect conditions to create a high-value coin. Additionally, the coin was found to have a near-perfect strike and minimal wear, which made it even more desirable to collectors. When you factor in the rarity, the condition, and the historical significance of the coin, you can begin to see why it was valued at $1.30 million. Now, you might be wondering how you can spot a 1983 P Mint Mark Washington quarter with this rare error. Well, the first thing to look for is the mint mark. The P is located just below George Washington's neck. But keep in mind that not all 1983 P quarters are worth millions. The vast majority of these coins are not the error variety, and they will only be worth face value. To find the valuable error coin, you need to carefully examine the coin's composition and look for differences in its appearance. One key characteristic is a slight change in color. The coin will often have a more coppery tone compared to other quarters. Additionally, some collectors have reported a distinctive texture or roughness on the surface of the coin. This is because the mint used a different metal mixture for these coins, which caused a striking difference in appearance. The best way to confirm if you found one of these rare coins is to have it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. If it checks out, you could be sitting on a small fortune. You might be wondering why this specific 1983 P Mint Mark Washington quarter became so valuable in the first place. As with all rare and collectible coins, the value is determined by supply and demand. There are very few of these error coins in circulation, which makes them incredibly rare. Combine that with the fact that coin collectors are always on the lookout for unique and valuable specimens, and you've got a recipe for a high-value coin. The market for rare coins, especially error coins, is driven by a dedicated community of collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for a rare find. That's why a coin like the 1983 P Mint Mark Washington quarter could go for $1.3 million. The rarity, historical significance, and collector demand have made this coin a true treasure. While the 1983 P Mint Mark Washington quarter has earned a reputation as a millionaire maker, it's important to remember that not all rare coins are worth such astronomical amounts. The value of a coin is determined by many factors, including its rarity, condition, and the specific error or variation it features. That being said, if you're a coin collector or investor, you should always be on the lookout for rare and unusual coins, because you never know when you might stumble upon a hidden gem worth a fortune. Coins, like the 1983 P quarter, remind us that there are still valuable treasures out there, waiting to be discovered. To wrap things up, the 1983 P Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar is an incredible example of how a small error can turn an everyday coin into $1 million treasure. With its unique composition and rare characteristics, this coin has captured the imagination of collectors and investors alike, making it one of the most sought-after coins in the market. If you're into coin collecting or just curious about what makes a coin valuable, this is definitely a piece of history to keep an eye on. Who knows? You might just find your own $1.3 million coin hidden in your pocket change.